Hi, RT. This is Michael from BetterTOEFLScores.com. I'm getting ready to listen to a speaking practice test that you sent me, I think, yesterday. So you're scoring right now around 22 to 24 points on these speaking tasks, if I remember correctly. And as your speaking coach, I've given you some specific suggestions to work on concerning your delivery. So today, the question is the smartphone a useful educational tool or a useful tool for education? Why or why not? And of course, that implies you have to give some specific examples to support your ideas. Okay, I have the IBT rubrics here for the independent speaking task. And I'm going to listen to your response now. So let's get that going. And as I listen to it, I'll kind of look at the rubric. So right now you're right around 3. Remember that if you want to score higher than 3, you have to be highly intelligible. You have to have sustained, coherent discourse, right? So delivery, you have to have a fluid expression, well-paced flow. You don't want a lot of pauses, too many pauses, especially pauses in the middle of a thought group. You don't want that. You want to have effective use of grammar vocabulary with a high degree of automaticity, and you want to make sure that you're developing and organizing your speaking task well to get in that area. Here we go.
Smartphones are beneficial for learning because of the apps allowed on them and because they are convenient. First, some educational materials are packed into apps used on smartphones, which can enhance learning. For example, I'm using the TOEFL practice test app to learn new words to improve on my vocabulary in the TOEFL IBT test.
Now, sometimes you're really good with the pacing right there, and other times you're not. Let's go back for a minute here. Listen to
On
this.
smartphones, which can enhance learning. For example, I'm using the TOEFL practice test app to learn new words.
To learn new words, but you broke up that infinitive. You said to pause and then learn. That's not what I call well-paced flow. You don't want to interrupt the middle of a thought group with a pause, right? The infinitive needs to be pronounced together.
To improve on my vocabulary in the TOEFL IBT test. More so, smartphones are useful educational tools because they are convenient for learning and can be used nearly anywhere. For instance, my sister took all her classes for an online management program through a Zoom app
Okay.
while at home without the need to travel to the school, which was located in a different continent. Therefore, I think that smartphones are useful tools for education.
Therefore, I think that smartphones are useful educational tools. Yeah, that's tough. I think that you did give, I think, topic development. You gave some specific examples in there, which say usually lacks elaboration or specificity. We'll listen to it one more time to verify. I think that you're at least 3 in the delivery. You might be a little bit higher in the language use, and then maybe 3.5 or 4 when it comes to topic development. Let's
Smartphones are
listen.
beneficial for learning because of the apps allowed on them and because they are convenient. First, some educational materials are packed into apps used on smartphones, which can enhance learning. For
Okay.
example, I'm using the TOEFL practice test app to learn new words to improve on my vocabulary in the TOEFL IBT test.
No, that was good elaboration. So I think in that case, I'm going to say topic development is establishes well-developed and coherent type structure. Relationship between ideas are clear.
More so, smartphones are useful
Now, what's that word though? You just said more so.
in the TOEFL IBT test. More so, smartphones are useful educational tools because they
I would say they're probably moreover or
are
furthermore.
convenient for learning and can be used nearly anywhere. For instance, my sister took all her classes for an online management program through a Zoom app while at home without the need to travel to the school, which was located in a different continent. Therefore,
But when she took the course from home, how does that connect to the smartphone? Did she use a smartphone to Zoom those classes? I would make that clear. Did she use a notebook computer? But you would want to say that she used her smartphone to Zoom the class that she was taking. But you want to make sure the connection is clear there. So we see how that example relates back to the argument you're trying to make.
while at home without the need to travel to the school, which was located in a different continent. Therefore, I think that smartphones are useful tools for education.
All right. So I think you could probably make the connection a little more clear in that last idea. So I'm looking at the rubrics here. Yeah, I'm going to say 23 to 25 points on this. I think that the delivery is still giving you trouble. You're having some problems, I think, with pacing and also maybe intonation. So at the end of each thought group, or at the end of each non-final thought group, I think you can slightly inflect the tone. Then the tone falls when you get to the last thought group in the sentence. You get to the end of the sentence, right? So some pacing issues, you want to keep working on that. I think the language use was strong, but the problem is it's hard for me to say it exhibits a fairly high degree of automaticity because it seems that you're pausing a little bit to gather your thoughts of the vocabulary and the grammar you want to use next. So you had some pauses in there which might imply that you do not have a high degree of automaticity when it comes to the vocabulary and grammar. And then some of your ideas could be a little bit more clear, especially at the end when you talk about taking the online class. You want to make it clear that your sister used that class or used that her smartphone to Zoom that particular class, or that you did it. Um, all right, so your score here, I'm going to say 23 to 25 points on this speaking practice test.